Greetings, hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to DevChatter. It is a Monday again. For some of you, that's a great start to the week, and looking forward to some good stuff. And some other people, it's Monday. So anyway, I hope you're all doing pretty well. I actually don't mind Mondays, I'm just kidding. Let's see, so if you're new here, welcome. Feel free to ask questions in the chat, or just sit there and watch and listen, whatever interaction you want to make. Greetings, glad to see a bunch of people here, especially all the people with the emotes. Stool Penner, I love that you chimed in with your sub alert before the stream went live. 7 months, that is awesome. So we have some cool stuff. I mentioned in our stream on Saturday that all of our subscribers got a cool new thing, and that is Twitch actually upgraded the way that they work with affiliates, so that an affiliate can actually earn additional emote slots. It used to be that only partners could earn additional emote slots, but now the affiliates can as well, so that means that, as Coated Beard has pointed out in the chat there, we now have both a hype emote and a derp emote. And our fail emote I will be adding in as soon as they allow us to unlock the third emote, which they'll do in March. And then I'm actually going to have to make a new emote because they're going to let us get a fourth one in April. Because we are actually a big enough channel that Twitch actually is going to let us have a total of 6 emotes, 4 for the tier 1s, but then some others as well. Welcome everybody, glad to see everybody showing up in chat. Carrie asked a great question. Will it be a whale or a unicorn? Not planning on that. I'm planning on keeping our Chatosaurus, our little dinosaur that we've got there. The things that I'm thinking about adding are an equivalent of... actually, I should... You know what? Hang on. Let me bring my personal account into the chat, and I can show you. So I want to do one that's kind of like this, but with our dinosaur. So we'll get a DevChatter one with a little dinosaur holding a heart, so that he's got both the, like... You know, so he's got 2 ways of celebrating things, either a hype or the heart thing, or we'll have like the 2 other ones, which are the derp and the fail. And if you haven't seen the fail, that is the like frustration fail. And Auth Zero Bobby coming in with a Twitch Prime sub. That's awesome. Thank you for the support there. See, now you get a hype and a derp emote as well. So now you can go anywhere you want on Twitch and use a hype and a derp emote with a very special dinosaur. Hey, good afternoon, Michael. Wow, it's yeah, it is afternoon. Holy cow, this day disappeared. So fun story. Everybody on my Discord got to hear this one. So a tree in my yard came down. And I found out what it looks like when a tree trunk and branches poke holes through shingles. It's kind of neat. Luckily, it hit the garage, and not like, you know, anywhere that people would be. That was some crazy wind we got. So yep, wind just like took a tree down, and it's like, well, that's interesting. We just hear this loud crash. We're like, what was that? So it was good stuff. You gotta love the wind. All right, so as I said, if you are someone who is new to the channel, feel free to check out any of the source code that we work on here. Everything's out on GitHub. And if you want to chat with any of us, the best place to do that is to check out our Discord. It's a chat application. Links over there in the chat as well as down below. Discord's where a lot of us coordinate about stuff. There are people ask questions there from time to time. It's good stuff. Oh, you lost power, and the sighting. Yes. Yep. No, our house was singing all night too. The windstorm was a little crazy. Okay, so what we've been working on in this stream is a community project. We've actually worked on a lot of things on this stream, but this one is a community project. It's a website. We're doing ASP.NET Core. Someone might ask, why are you doing an ASP.NET Core instead of doing it as a CMS? Well, because we're a programming channel and we like to do, you know, stuff where we can, you know, try things out, experiment, see how to do stuff, and I guess show it, discuss it, talk about it, because we're mostly developers here. I don't know of anyone that's usually in our audience that is not a developer. but we like to build stuff, so hey, build stuff. So we built this website. It's ASP.NET Core, C#, JavaScript. We're using Vue.js. We set up our data access using Dapper, and we use Fluent Migrator, that's the word, to handle all of our database change management, as well as any initial data stuff that we are going to be using in this application. We're not doing anything that I would call experimental, for example. So we're trying to keep with just like core stuff that developers might run into out in the world. Future plans, of course, include we want to do some actual game development in Unity at some point, because I think that would be really fun. And we're going to play around with Blazor a little bit at some point, but we're not going to put that in any of our applications until it's like, let's put it this way, until it's more stable. Just because everything we do here obviously is done either from volunteer work from anybody else or me during my stream time and spare time. So I don't want to have to put effort into updating as new versions of things come out. So because I don't want to put that time in, we're going to hold off on those. Because if we had to do that for any long-term projects we do, that would take a while. You were playing around with getting Blazor to run an Electron and fail. Yeah, see, and that's one of the other funny things is we want to mess around with stuff. If it doesn't work, it's totally fine. You can learn a lot from it, and it's what we do. We're developers. It's a good time. So I would love to know what you ran into while trying to get Blazor to run an Electron, but I mean, in theory, it should probably be able to work. Hilarious idea. Okay. So we were setting this up. This has, okay, so yeah, when I go to the calendar page, it does list that there's supposed to be a stream today, and that is, this one. And if I check tomorrow, it should have one as well, and there's tomorrow's. And you didn't really see the data update, but see, as I click through the days, you do actually see the data update. So 26, there's the 28th, and there should be one on, I don't have all of them in there. Hang on, I must just not have the full schedule in there, would be my guess. Saturday at 13? Oh! Derp, I'm an idiot. Okay, so here's the stupid thing. So anybody else notice what happened there? This is awesome. So we're using the basic just calendar piece from the browser. We're not using like a fancy calendar control. This is just the browsers. And I was like, yeah, so today's Monday, it's the 25th, and then tomorrow would be the 26th, and then Thursday would be the 28th, and then I was like, yeah, then Friday, Saturday. And imagine that, there's nothing going on February 30th. Almost like that day doesn't exist. It's pretty good, because I didn't use the calendar, it just let me increment up to the next number. So if we do that, then we see, yes, on March 2nd, there is something. So, awesome. Everything's working. Cool. I was really confused there. I know, right? Or does it? It was the aliens. The aliens created February 30th. All right, so seems that page is working. The all channels page is currently not showing anything. We're going to have to look into that. My channels page. So this is the one that we're going to mess with today, because I want to mess with authentication and authorization today. And then the last thing, on our manage site, we've got manage tags. So these are the set of tags that we have in the site right now. And we have just basic edit, details, and delete pages. These are the same pages that get scaffolded by ASP.NET Core, except we changed out their data access from EF Core to using Dapper. That's the only main change on those. And then the last one, we have the schedule page here, and this is just where we edit those. Again, all of these little edit pages, yeah, they could get they could get a nicer UI and everything, but they are functional for now. I want to figure out why this isn't working real fast before we do anything else here. Let me just hit this page again. Channels. Does it do an extra request? No. Which means this came back without them. Well, I'm going to take a look, because I would like to know why that didn't work. Oh, no, it's an index page in channels. It's right here. And right here. What did this do? Channel search, find, select. Oh, weird. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go to the channel search. Maybe I did something weird with this. I don't remember. Let's see. We are saying find. Yeah, notice our find currently doesn't pass any parameter set. Almost like we didn't put in any of the filter controls yet. No filtering and searching, but we know that that's going to be the plan. We just didn't put any of the controls in yet, so that's all we did was grab that. Tags. Inner join tags. You know what? I can't read this. I'm going to do this. That. Select star from that. And inner join in that. SQL. Inline SQL. Always the best. So what did we do? We grabbed all the channels, channel tags, and tags. And we were searching based on those values, the channel and the tag. And you know what? We'll replace this with this kind of code again later. For now, I'm going to chop it. So we're not going to do this. This isn't really... So we're not doing any filtering yet. The logic's not really here. This is just grab the data. So what I'm going to do is this. I am going to do a multi. I think... There we go. This is the one I want. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Channel aggregate. So this is get all the channels. So that's channel. There we go. Will that do it? Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our connection. We're going to query on our connection for channels. And do I need to pass in channels equal? No. We're just going to grab them all. So this is... hang on. I'm switching. Channel search service, this one. I want Visual Studio right now because I like its IntelliSense better, specifically for what we're doing. Because ReSharper is going to be able to detect the extension methods that are available, and VS Code will not be able to do that for me. Welcome, App Academy. Thanks for that follow. Much appreciated. If anyone else is in here and enjoying the stream at all, be sure to do the same. So that... connection, or channels, connection. And then we're going to do a query multiple on scheduled streams and tags. We don't need that one. We just need tags. So actually, let's just pull the tags per channel. Let's see, do we do this as separate? I want to do this, so I don't want to do mass tons of calls to the database. So I think what I want to do is this. Okay, I could pass in the channel ID, but I don't think I want to do that. So here's the way it's going to work. I want to do a single call. This is going to do multiple calls. I think I can pull them in as a single call if I... Well, let's just pull all the tags in memory. So I don't, because we'll do a single call to grab all the tags. And we'll hook them up in memory, because the set of tags is actually not that many items. And this, once we actually build it, we're going to pull this from a repository and cache it. So, which, to be honest, this whole thing should probably get cached, but I think the tags should separately get cached so that we don't have to actually call that. We don't want to do the weird for eaching thing. We want to grab all the channels, so let's get our list of ints, and this will be our channel IDs. We'll do a channel select ID and toList it, and that will get us our channel IDs. The channel IDs we're going to want to use as the like in value when we call our channel. QDY, welcome. Thanks for that follow, much appreciated. Let me search for in and then an @ sign, maybe? Nope. In that? Nope. Alright, I thought I had one. This is Dapper. Whoops, wrong browser. Dapper SQL in. The reason I want to search this is because I want to make sure that I get the syntax right for how the parameter works. Okay, so we say in and then it's the value, so this is what we want. I mean, this is a very simple version of what we want. So this is the SQL that goes here. Whoops. Put it there. So there's the weird part. We need the collection to look like that. Hey, Gary, you subscribed with a tier 1. There you go. You have the hype and the derp emotes now. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So this is all the like all the people that I know IRL are just chiming in. They're just like, hey, let me click my sub button. And Mike, wow, 6 months. I didn't realize it's been that long. That's crazy. And emotes, and that means that I just noticed Mike is out of his egg. You see your little sub badge there? I don't know if does that show. I think it shows up on that part over there. But either way, if you guys can't see it, everyone, that's what I'm talking about. This little piece has changed. So, and yes, for anyone that's wondering, I do use Streamlabs OBS. Because I just dragged it on the screen, so you should have seen it there. Streamlabs OBS is fairly good. I use that for the stream here. I think it works reasonably well. There is our SQL. We don't want IDs equals new IDs with this collection. We want to put in our channel IDs. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Okay. You now have your egg, and he's fully out of his. At 3 months, the egg starts hatching, and then at 6 months, you're totally out of it. And then once you reach a year, you end up with the one that I've got, which is the like just the smiling Chatosaurus, we'll say. Okay, so in this, we need to return back a list of channel, which is going to be those channels. So we'll return back channels. That's easy enough. For this, we have these channel IDs, so we want to say, okay, select star from channel tags. That's the name of the table. And where it's not ID, this is going to be channel ID in IDs, which I'm okay with that being IDs. So we want to grab all the channel tags that are like that, and then once we have them, this will be all of our channel tags. Channel tag right there. Okay, we don't need to do this as a query multiple, I just realized. We're just going to do a query channel tag. I know how to type, I promise. I've been doing it for, I don't know how long I've been typing. good while. I really have been typing for a long time, now that I think about it. I was in another Twitch chat recently where I forget whose it was. I was in a gaming stream, and someone was bringing up Dungeons and Dragons, and the hilarity. And so I was able to chat along with this other person that was watching the stream, and we were talking about D&D. And someone was like, oh yeah, like blah blah blah, I just learned D&D recently. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, yeah, I've been playing for, and then I thought about it for a second. I was like, oh, right. I learned to play D&D before you were born. I feel old now. Because you go to some of these channels on on Twitch, and it's not people the same age we are, as you realize when you get in there. You're like, oh, you're how old? Okay. I feel really old now. Channel IDs. Okay, so there we go. So that gets us our channel tags, which actually we have the value on the page because we have it there. We're listing it on this. That's fine. So there's our parameter. This gets us our channel tags, and then we just need to wire these together. So essentially, we need to decide which channel tags end up on this page based on that. So channels, let's see, for each channel, I'm going to do this not totally in link, and I will show you what I mean here. So, whoops, not channel tag, channels. Come on, Brendan. What are you doing? And I saw someone say something in chat. Give me 1 second. Channel. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Hey, Gareth. That was you just saying hi. Welcome. And, half a year. Yeah, see? 6 months. You have also hatched. Congratulations. You are an adolescent chatosaurus. The nice part is the additional emotes that Twitch has unlocked for us, which I am thrilled about, equals tags where wait a minute. We want to grab the tags where the tag.id in we want to do this. Hang on. I'm going to leave this as an enumerable so that it can evaluate however it likes, whenever it likes. We're going to say tags tag IDs for channel equals channel tags dot where ct dot channel ID equals channel dot ID, and then I want to select the ID off of it, tag ID. So that gets us our tag IDs that we're supposed to have. And then that's tag IDs for the channel, and then we'll say where this contains tag.id. And then to list that because I believe that's what the channel tags wants. Let's see. Yes, hype. Felt old when they said they never saw it or never heard of it. I recently showed some of my colleagues the Chris Rock bit forum. I'm gonna. Oh, yes. Any kind of you make any kind of pop culture references in a place with people of different ages, and oh man, just you wait, you're gonna feel old. Wow. Okay. So welcome, emotive. Welcome. Thanks for that follow. Much appreciated. And the last one is Plop. Welcome. Greetings. Glad you're both enjoying the stream. All right, so not pretty. Make I almost want to put like a little thing, be like, make this like to do, make this better. Actually, this really is a thing. So that value should come there. To do pull all data in one request. We'll say and or cache, because that needs to happen, because that's going to just be nasty if we're doing it that way. That is not how we want to wire that together. It could be that if we go the route of having an actual search index, because we really want this to be searchable, what we'll end up doing is denormalizing the data and storing it somewhere, at which point the creation of this is not very difficult. And then we don't have to worry about it, because we're essentially wiring the data up from the search index instead of doing this. Yeah, so, oh, hey, SQL Mr. Magoo, welcome. Glad you're here. Yes, you are totally right. So we were actually doing a bunch of joins before, and it wasn't working, and I'm like, no, we're just gonna make this work, and we'll just fix it sometime later. Because this page, for some reason, wasn't working, and I don't really want to fix that bug today. So I was like, let's just hard code in the stupid thing, and we'll come back and fix it. So that's the plan. Because I want this page to work, because we have a few people that are interested in contributing to the project, and so I was like, well, let's make sure that we fix everything. So by fix everything, I mean, we started this project as an EF Core project, and some people suggested, since every project we've done on the stream is EF Core, why don't we use something else? And I said, okay, let's use Dapper. So we switched everything over to Dapper, and basically now we're in fixing mode, because not all of our data access worked quite right when we just switched it over. So there are a couple of bugs that are still outstanding, and that's one of them. So let's call this all channels fix. Let's say temp fix to show all channels. Temporary fix to show all channels. There we go. We'll publish that branch and get it merged in so that that fix is there. And everything covers someone's early shift today. I wasn't watching when you had the issue, but in general, if you don't need data from the join table, always use the where exists. Oh yeah. And Newth Gang, welcome. Thanks for that follow, much appreciated. Let's go ahead and merge this in. And by merge it in, I mean create the pull request for it to get merged in eventually. Yeah, I think that gets the point across. And then let's switch back to the master branch. And then that code's going to be broken again, which is fine. We just won't go to that page. And I'm going to restart the site just in case, because I know it can get confused by that. And, Cyrilash, hey, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Well, glad the go live worked. The, let's see. What do we need to wire up here? So, one thing we recently added in that people should know about, and I'm going to apologize to Auth0 Bobby, who may still be in the chat. So, good, these are here. View data. Excellent. Excellent. No users. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. That's not what I wanted, I'm kidding. Cyrilash, we are breaking an ASP.NET Core website. And the way we're going to do that... so, I added in So we've had ASP.NET Identity in this project the whole time. We talked about potentially using Auth0 at some point. We have not done that yet, but we are going to use the identity that is built into ASP.NET Core for now. If at some future point we want to upgrade to using some other kind of system for that, we will. A couple of things that we're going to do. We definitely need access to the Twitch API at some point, which we will probably do through our system, and we probably won't need to OAuth data about the user, but maybe that'll be the way that we get the, who they follow and things like that. We'll see on that one. But either way, NSO, yes, this is open source. It's out on GitHub. And the thing that we're trying to do here is essentially we just need basic authentication, because there is one page that's important for. Let me just make sure I actually load this up correctly. On the My Channels page, I have this section. It's called My, and we have channels and schedule in here. And right now, since we don't have any authentication, anyone can load this page, anybody can modify any of this data, and that's just stupid. We want these tied to a specific user. We want a couple of other things user-based, because we want you to be able to keep track of the channels that you follow on Twitch and other things like that, as well as the channels that you subscribe to on YouTube, so that you can find this information in here. So essentially, if a channel you follow is in the DevStreams site, whether it is on Twitch or YouTube or anything else, we want to make sure that there is a page where you can see their schedule and everything like that, so that you can specifically find the schedule for the stuff you follow. So that's what we want to do. Okay. Gareth, what do solutions like Auth0 give you that ASP.NET Identity doesn't? The fact that it manages the system and has an external application that takes care of all that stuff, and then I don't have to worry about a lot of other stuff. Identity server for external authentication. Maybe. So we're also talking about potentially Auth0. I don't know. I believe Auth0 will give us, I think they have, I believe, a free version. I don't usually like using products on here that don't have a free version, but I also think that they, in addition to having a free version, they might do something for open source projects. A lot of companies do help out open source projects by letting them use higher tier licenses than the free one. If they do need it for some reason, although I don't think we're going to need it especially early on. Are we going to tie into YouTube and Twitch authentication? Sirlash, yes, that is the plan. And there is actually Twitch authentication in the ASP.NET core contrib libraries for identity. So there are libraries that exist on NuGet that are designed to use the standard identity system to let you do Twitch authentication. The reason we want to do Twitch authentication? Well, if you're going here to a DevStreams site, you probably have a Twitch account and you probably have a YouTube account. So, just makes sense. What would people use if they don't want external? Yes, you just use username and password. So even if you go through Auth0 or something like that, it still has basic username and password. Even if they log in with that, we should be able to still, even if they don't want to use the OAuth login, we should still be able to connect to their account and do the OAuth connection where we request their information, even if they don't want to use it as their login. Alternately, we could go the route where they tell us their username and we just call the API, because we can just make an API call to Twitch and just ask, who do you follow? So that's also available to us if we want to go that route. But I think we'll probably say if they don't want to connect their Twitch, we just won't show the data. So, like, if you don't want to give us access, we won't request it from Twitch. The users might prefer it that way anyway. So anyway, talking about ASP.NET Core Identity, what we need to have are a couple of things. So in our app startup, here's what we've got right now. We have the application builder. That's common. That's here out the gate by default. The other thing that we're having it pass in the configure method is the hosting environment. So these two are like the standard out-of-the-box bits that you get with startup in a configure. We added in the migration runner. This is from Fluent Migrator. And what we use this for is right down here, we call our initialize database method, and we use our essentially our IOC container. We ask it for an AppDB context that we use to call its migrate method. So we are doing an automatic migration every single time of our EF Core stuff. The reason I'm doing this, we aren't using EF Core for our migration, so I feel safe about calling this because this should only happen your first time that you load the application. This obviously will fail if you have not set your connection string. The next thing is we call the migration runner, which is part of Fluent Migrator, and then this also runs. So this is the more concerning one because we are going to run this every time. We may get more cautious with that, but for now I'm just going to automatically run it because, again, we're not making all that significant of changes and we're in dev mode, so I'm not terribly worried about it. We're not going to lose data. We're not going to mess up a database. Okay, so those happen there. We're saying use authentication, but we haven't really set up our authentication at all. Let's get ourselves a basic user account. So I think the way we want it, there's a couple of ways we can do it. I think the way that I want to do it is this. There is a user manager in ASP.NET, and I believe, hang on, appdb context, identity DB context, okay, which I think means that we're using identity user. The other way we could do this if we didn't want to use the user manager is we could instead leverage the app data context and just use that instead. Let's grab the role manager as well. And I believe it also is for identity user if we do that. So we're going to request these on our configure method. And right before it says use authentication, I want to say something like set up default users and roles. I don't like having ands in my method names, but we're gonna do it for now because I think it makes sense here. And hopefully it won't be terrible. So once we have these, there's a couple of things that we want to do. User manager, home manager. We want to say if we have essentially, if we have our role list already. Hey, Lucky. Good evening. Welcome. So role manager dot. There's got to be an exists, right? Role exists async. That works. And administrator. We can type. Since I think we need that to resolve here, we're gonna await this. Does it wait? What? Does that need more than that? Oh, this is not async. Oops. If we want to do that, that has to be async. Ah, nothing like an async void. Someone's gonna murder me for that one, huh? I didn't mean for it to be an async void. Don't kill me. Alright, so if role does not exist, then we want to do this. Hey, Crimson, welcome. So this is where we want to do this. And then the next thing we want to do is the other one. We want to say if, so I'm going to follow the same format. This has got to exist. User manager dot exists. Whoa, it doesn't. So maybe it's just, you know, maybe we just check the user. We just look for the user. That could be. We could just look to see is the default user in here. So wait, user manager. Is there a find? That works. Find by login, by ID, or name. Alright, so we're going to use this username, and the username is going to be, no, let's not do admin, Chatosaurus. He's just going to be Chatter1. Chatter1. That ought to work. Await that, find by this, and say, oh, actually, if this, because there was no exists, if that equals null, then we do it. Okay. Krim, you hurt your ankle. Well, hopefully it gets better. Riley Dom, what's my opinion on async action methods? I still can't decide whether to use them or not. If I'm planning on awaiting something, I just use the async. I'm not sold either way on that one either, Riley Dom. I use them when I feel like I need one. If I'm going to be calling a bunch of async stuff, obviously I make it async. If I'm not calling anything async, I don't bother making the action method itself async. So I usually remove it if I didn't call anything. So I have a similar stance to you on that one, Riley. I love Mr. Magoo's comment that you remember. Hey Ed, welcome. Have a good meeting. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, see, we got a bunch of people saying hi. Love when people stop by, even if all you're doing is just saying hello. So we're gonna set up the administrator role in this one. I'm trying to decide if we want to create any other roles. I think this was fine for now. So we're gonna say role manager, and what do we want to do? How do we create a role? Do we add a role? I think we make one. Yeah, exactly, Riley. That's the stance I have on it. It's like, am I using it? Cool. All right, we'll use it. We're not adding a claim. Are we creating one? Create. There we go. And we'll await that as well, because I think it makes sense to. We're not really going to have a task on this thing, so I probably should just... What? Hang on. What? Identity user role. Yeah, that. Why wasn't that... I don't know why that wasn't working. Wait, what? Identity user. The role is an identity user? Anybody else confused by that? That's weird. Is there an identity role? New identity. Whoops. I apparently can't type anyway, so it doesn't matter. Identity role. Yeah, it exists. Okay. Alright. Those are not going to be sitting around as strings there. It's not create. What is it? Oh, derp. Oh, yeah, I derped that one. Was someone telling me about that derp? Yeah, thank you, Prototype. Yeah, see, I totally did. Whenever I derp something, I realize I'm derping it. It's like, you look back in chat, you're like, someone was telling me about that, wasn't it? Someone was like, dude, you missed the thing. Like, you auto-completed the wrong thing into the thing. It's like, oh yeah, I did. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna leave that there. Someone's gonna shoot me for that. We'll fix it later. We're not really using the task, which is why it's a thing. So this one is a identity, this one's gonna be an identity user. This one has that username. So there's our default user that we're going to create. And we're not going to use the role manager, we're going to use the user manager. It's got to have a create async too, doesn't it? Yeah, of course it does. Prototype, it censored your message? No. Didn't censor the message on my end. I see it. I think everybody else did too. might have been whatever system you're on. So like the different, if you're in one of the apps, for example, Twitch apps don't handle all things like links and potentially hazardous stuff. So like it could be your less than, greater than, that it was thinking, oh, that's a that, you know, like, oh, someone's trying to put a tag in there or something. Didn't censor it on my end. Oh, if you mean the chat that shows up in the video, then yeah, that might have gotten censored by Streamlabs, whose chat box actually shows up on the screen here. So those obviously are coming out as variables. I just want to decide to what extent, whether or not we're keeping track of roles. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. Hang on 1 second. I'm getting text messages for some reason from someone. Okay. Whoops. I clicked a button I didn't mean to click. Alright, there we go. Create async identity role. Create that. There's the user. So we need to do a couple of things with these. There have got to be some extra permissions that we need to set on these. So a role has the name that we put in there. I'm trying to think if we need anything else on it. Do roles have any weird things? Normalized name, concurrency stamp. I don't know what those are for. So we won't worry about that. So we have that role. This user needs this role, right? So if we're going to create this, we need more than this value. So we need an email address, right? Which we won't worry about because we're not really going to send emails. So chatter1@example.com. You know, the whoops. Derp. I know how to program. Rah. User, and we already did username. Email. Username should have been the one that was set. There's a name, right? No, we don't have it because we didn't create a special user. We're just using the standard identity user. If we added a whole profile, I think we'd have some extra stuff. We create, and then how do we set the role? Do we set role? Can we set roles when we create a user? We can set their password. All right. No, nobody look. Hang on. All right. No one was looking when I typed that in, right? That's blurred, right? You guys can't see that? That's my bank account password right there that I used for this. I wanted it to be secure. Hey, Aesthetic Mayhem, welcome. Thanks for that follow, much appreciated. I was just kidding. That was let's see if it lets me get away with a really bad password. We'll do that as a 0 and that as an exclamation point and see if it lets us get away with that. It's secure. Thanks, Gareth. Glad. Yeah, exactly. See, Sirlash only sees a bunch of stars. This will be easier to type. This account is not supposed to exist long term. It's just here for this. So, does this return anything? Yes, it does. It returns a result. There we go. Results. Succeeded. Role manager? It's got to be the role manager that does it, right? Set role name. Role exists. Yeah, okay. Get role. Oh, yeah. Yep, exactly, Sirlash. I should say Randactyl. It is working as intended for Sirlash. Okay. Use it. So it's not that one. Is it on the user manager? Which one of these has this? One of them's got it. Add to role. Hey, there we go. User. Roll. Wait, what? Oh, it's a string. Administrator. There we go. All right. Whoops. That was async. Of course it's async. Everything's async. What's return? Another identity result. So we can check whether that succeeded, but I don't think I care. Do we want another user account or not? I guess we'll just leave it as that. Line 112. Would it be better to check if you have no administrators rather than a specific user? Oh, yes, SQL Mr. Magoo, that is a great idea. We will change to that. Get users in role. Administrators. Administrator. That is going to be a list. So it'll return back a list. Wait, this. We need to any this, but in order to do that, I can't just say any because it hasn't resolved. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to wrap it in an extra set of parens and say any, and put an exclamation point on the beginning. So if there are not any, administrators, then we need to create one. Great suggestion. That is a way better way to do it, Mr. Magoo, because then this code, if someone wants to create their own and delete this user, we will not recreate it. So fantastic suggestion, SQL Mr. Magoo, as long as they create their own administrator. So there we go. And Prototype, hey! So you have been enjoying the stream. Let's see. Yeah, it did end up being the user manager. What's the shortcut that catches the result for you? I don't know what you mean. The create variable? I'm doing that with ReSharper, actually. Which means you could do it in Writer, and there should be a shortcut in Visual Studio to do the same thing. I'm guessing Control Dot can probably do it in most cases, but not sure. Alright, so obviously I put this administrator thing here. Clearly that needs to come out as a variable, so we're going to pull that out as the const string role name for now. With that role name, I do want to point out, for now, and oh, you have ReSharper? It's the extract variable. I use Control-Alt-V because I use the old IntelliJ keyboard shortcuts because those are the ones I know. It could be something different if you have a different one, but what I do recommend for anyone that uses any kind of productivity tool, literally go find their key map of shortcuts, whether that just be you want to learn the Visual Studio ones, the VS Code ones, the ReSharper ones, the CodeRush ones, whatever productivity tool you use, your IDE, whatever, has a bunch of keyboard shortcuts, go find their key map. I'm sure they have one. Print it out. Literally print it out, put it beside you. Every time you think, hey, there's got to be a shortcut for this, go look it up and do it, and eventually you'll remember them. And I tell you to print it instead of, just looking for it on your computer, because that physical thing, you don't have to take up screen space for it. I used to do that with devs all the time, like especially junior devs. I'd be like, here, we're going to give you, literally use this. You're going to look them up. You'll be thankful later when you remember it. And yes, Gira's suggestion of highlighting things, also super important. You'd also need to check if chatter 1 doesn't exist before chatting. Yes, you're correct. Yeah, that's actually a good point. If he existed, then we wouldn't create him. That means he got pulled out of his role. Wait, what? Isn't this where we... Oh, right. It's get user. Whoops. User dot find by name async, and his username is chatter1. Equals null. And then we need to await, wait, wait, what? Hang on. There's no way that's awaiting both of them. Okay, good. There we go. I'm gonna drop that down. So await this and that. Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Learn the shortcut is a great extension as well. Oh yeah, that is a very good suggestion there, SQL Mr. Magoo. Is there a command for a summary of the extensions you're running, or is it basically just resharper? I do not have one that sets that up, but I should. That's actually a good suggestion. I am running resharper, and I'm also running the productivity power tools, which is a Visual Studio extension. In case you missed what I said, that is what Productivity Power Tools is. Typed there into chat. So we're going to create this user, create the administrator account. I pulled it out as this, but I think we're going to end up with either an enum or some kind of an object collection in memory, something like that, that actually handles that long term. But for now, we can pull it out like so. And then the next thing I want to do is pull this one out, and that will be default user account name. And to do pull from config. So that account I want to pull from config so that someone can customize it. So if you want to run it on your own machine, you can have it create that account by default. And then this, let's pull this as well, actually. That'll be a const string default user password. And I'm going to put this up here as well, and I'm going to say the same thing, pull from config. And the reason I'm thinking pull these from config is that then what we're able to do is we can have these values come in actually from the user secrets file. So this is what it'll be when we commit it. It'll be chatter1 and, you know, the password like this. But then if anyone else wants to change that, they can use user secrets so that they don't risk committing whatever one they want to use instead. So that's kind of the idea there. Let's see. So we've created that. User account should exist. That'll create them. All right, let's give this a try. Let's see what the website does with it. Where are you? So I run both VS Code and Visual Studio for anybody that watches this stream. Usually what I do is if I think I'm going to be in C# more, I'm in my Visual Studio instance, and if I think I'm going to be in JavaScript more, I'm in VS Code. And I will run both. Usually I debug in Visual Studio, but if I'm just running the application, I'm usually just running it in a terminal, so I put it in the VS Code window so that I don't have like a lot of windows open. Alright, so it doesn't like that. Let's go build over in Visual Studio and see what it's yelling at me about. What do you want? User manager, role manager, you don't like the... What? Oh, it was a runtime error. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll debug it and take a look at what it was. So it's probably complaining because my identity role or user is probably the wrong one. Oh. And welcome, someone. Crazy Spaniard. Welcome, thanks for that follow. This crazy... yeah, I'll need to check and see those, but... what happened here? Oh, it couldn't resolve my user manager and role manager. So it didn't like those. So I need to register those. Can I just create them? Hang on, let's ask the interwebs. ASP.NET Core register user manager. ASP.NET Core identity is not inject a. So let's see if there's anything tricky with how you set these up. Let's see. Do you have use identity call in configure? That shouldn't matter. I need to do it before that, right? Yeah, I have that before the services add identity. Hang on. This I think is the line I need. I think that's the one we're missing. Actually, or is that it there? Identity user. Oh, wait, hang on. Was it yelling at me about role? Whoa, hang on. I might have misread that. Maybe I wasn't reading clearly enough. Was it just the role manager, or was it also the user manager complaining? Identity role. It's just the role manager. Okay, I got it. So that is my mistake. So when we added this, we added the default identity for identity user. Will it add default identity that is there add role manager? Is that what I put in? I think that might be what we're supposed to call. And then say that editing framework stores. Alright. That might have been what we were missing there. I think that's what we were missing. You might have to seed the user and roles elsewhere. Maybe. I'm hoping I can get away with it here, though. No role type was specified. Try add roles. Okay. That's totally fine. So it's yelling at me at startup line 51. So startup line 51, when I call this, I said add role manager for identity role. And it's saying no role type. Add roles that. Okay. So you want the role type to exist first. Okay, it yelled at me but started this time. What happened? Let's see. So we came in here. That was a little weird. DB command, concur these down. Select that. Object disposed exception cannot access a disposed object. So the user store. When we were setting up our roles, so that's startup line 118. It says that that object was disposed in startup line 118. Okay, so it passed in the user manager and then gave us a problem. So let's just debug this and see what happens. So the user manager seems to be there, but not the role manager or something. 502 bad gateway. What? What? Let's try that again. Okay. Alright, good. It skipped over it, which means it says that role exists. That means it created it the first time through. Then this, the same context. Is our user manager coming in with the same context as the role manager? So when we call this the role manager, get users in role async. So it is the first call, not the second call. So as soon as we try to call this user manager, it fails on us. That's interesting. The user manager, it says, is not working here. Out of curiosity. I'm not actually going to use this. I just want to see what it takes in. User store. Okay, it passes in a whole bunch of stuff. Well, out of curiosity, if we didn't do this check, does it work? Let's find out. Is it the fact that we're calling the other one that makes this one fail? Oh, I commented out role name. That was stupid. Good job, Brendan. Way to go. Comment out the code that we needed in order for it to compile. Is set up default users and roles called by yourself or the framework? I am calling it. And we're passing it, but we are getting its user manager and role manager through IOC from the system. Did you specify you are using identity users for your DB context? Prototype, I believe we did. Yeah, I will give it a shot, Mr. Bigu, and we'll store all of these in variables and then check them instead of doing it this way. Either way, let me just run that and see if it works. Okay. So it looks like I can only make a single call before it gets disposed. In that case, maybe we don't resolve them. Maybe I don't await these results or something. No, because I need them in order to keep going. Let's see. This is any admins exist, and then this one is default user exists. Wait, default user missing. Put that backwards. Let's see. And I will check to make sure that our that everything's specified that we are using that type of role. Store the result in the get user role async. Yeah, Janisku, it is. Yeah, we can do that. I don't know that we need to, but we can. So this would be admin users. At which point, actually, we can inline this because that's simple enough that we don't need it. And this can be default user. And then we can inline this variable as well. We no longer need that temporary variable because then we say if not any admins and default user equals null, then we'll create them. and that should, in theory, work. This also has a result. Role create result, which we aren't doing anything with, but we'll go ahead and save it all the same. We just assume it works for now. Let's run the site again and see what happens. Because I would like to see where it bombs. Because if with those awaiting parts happening where they are, okay. So it doesn't fail until here. Cannot access a disposed object. User store 9. So it gets here, and that's where it's failing. In order for it to have failed there, we are doing... what do you think in the Simian? The ID of the user? Is it ID of the user shouldn't be 9. Let's see. Someone asked about our startup up here. So default identity. And yeah. So if I wanted a custom user manager, I could put one in. Add identity framework stores. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make this work, and here's the way we're going to do it. We're going to go over here, and we're going to ask the internet, because I can't imagine that this isn't common. This seems like it would just happen. If you did this. Come on, come on. We don't have all day, Visual Studio. Let's go. Oh, thanks, Visual Studio. That's awesome. Sweet. See? It's not just you. Sometimes Visual Studio is just slow. I know, right? Exactly, Zinjin. We have all experienced that one where you're just like, come on, Visual Studio. Don't have all day. I don't know what you're going on about, but alright, so we don't have that. So let's ask the interwebs. Whoops, not that browser. I meant to open. I have so many browser windows. That's funny. Even down to the user manager 9, this thing matched. So you tried the below code, await user manager add role, so add them to that, add them to that, yep, create a user, create that, then you try the code and then you get a concurrency fit, yep. Wait, what? Roll. Yeah, that's not what we're doing, though, guy on the internet. Let's see. That doesn't seem to be... What? Internet. Well, aren't you just supposed to answer all my questions? Doesn't the internet know what it's doing? You're supposed to just answer all my questions. That's rolls, but I did roll single. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, that sounds horrible. Alright, we're gonna try it. Someone's gonna murder me. Alright, you all ready to murder me? Some guy on the internet says that writing horrible code will make my stuff work, and I'm going to listen to them. Yeah. Will that work? Nope. Oh, guy on the internet lied to me. Thanks, Auth0 Bobby. No, guy on the internet lied to me. So we're good. We're good. Hang on. Let me just interwebs really fast. Yeah, see? People on the internet tell me to do terrible things, and I listen to them. Whoops. Let's inline this variable, because we can just do one of these. Bobby, you still got that knife ready? Alright, hang on. Good. There we go. Yep. There we go. And if this fixes it, I'm gonna like flip a table or something. Guy on forum says that getting rid of the awaits fixes everything. So which would mean that there's something wrong with the async code that we'll track down. But if this works, oh man, will that be awful. Oh god. Oh god. I feel dirty. It worked. It worked. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. No. Okay, so there's something wrong with the async code, and this is awful. If it makes you feel better, Bobby, I want to do the same thing. I cannot believe that worked. Like, what is going on then? So, at some point... Because we waited, I think what that means is that I'm gonna have to wait on these results somewhere early, because I think what's happening is that while we're awaiting the completion of that, something is like essentially disconnecting our app data context. So we'll wanna take a look at that. There you go. There you go. I think we'll all know what those mean. Thanks, Sunjin. I love how the chat is now full of knife. No, preparing a knife. Oh dear, stab soap in the face. All right, I'm gonna commit this in a branch, and then we're gonna fix it. But I want to commit it because it works right now, and then we'll figure out why the heck it needed to do this. Okay. So first off, let's make the branch, and then we'll fix it. Oh god. All right. Adding default user and role. All right, let's fix it now. You put to do OMG, get rid of this. Wow, that is horribly wrong there, Krim. Horribly wrong. All right, so let's do this. Instead of result, we'll await here. Let's put the awaits back. And let's see if we can't figure out a nicer way to make that work. So something is completing while we're doing this. What is this? Can you use using role manager? I'm not sure. Open window. Production ready code. Yeah, exactly. If this isn't fixed in 24 hours, please revert. Yes, exactly. Alright. So we await those instead of doing what we were doing, which we won't speak of again. What's this do? Waits for the task to complete execution. But it doesn't actually get us the result then when we do it. That is a task of list of identity user. It returns back the task with a cancellation token and some temporary parts there. Alright, let me check. Someone had said something in chat. Mr. Magoo said something to do with identity store going out of scope. Yeah, exactly. I think the identity store is going out of scope. Is it the way it's registered in DI? It could be. Let's see. So we're using default identity. Are there any parameters we can do on that? Nope. Oh, options. Actually, there are. Anything we can do with the stores? Nope. Nope. Undo that. We're not using those options. Any options on this? Nope. Yeah, so SQL Mr. Magoo, I didn't actually switch the identity I didn't switch the ASP.NET identity stuff over to Dapper yet, so it's still using Entity Framework for this. Feel the grid. Feel the grid. We're trying to figure out why the why our user manager and role manager are what's a good word? Losing their data context because it's closing. So something with our async code is making us lose them. Don't you have to specify the role also next to the generic type identity user? Yeah, I do. I do. I do. It's on the next line right here. And we're using the entity framework stores there. Okay, so when we create this, run it. Oh, you know what we could do? We could just do all these checks right at the beginning. Hang on. So we'll call that role exists. These are just constants. These can get pulled up to the top. These, there's no reason they can't happen up top as well. So first off, let's pull this out as users in role. We'll inline that. Await users in role any. And we'll pull this out as well, and this will be default user. One for now, because I'm going to inline that, and then we'll rename it. Okay, so these are tasks that we can start right at the beginning. Wow, what a great suggestion, Mr. Magoo. Why didn't I think of that? That's almost as good as just calling .result. Dress Guy, welcome. Thanks for that follow. Much appreciated. NSO, the front end for this is a handful of things. First off, this is an ASP.NET Core website, so we have CSHTML Razor pages are the front end of the website. Loads up some CSS, some JavaScript. We're using Vue.js for the front end pieces. It's all part of this same project, so if anyone is interested in working on any part of this, by the way, it is open source, so feel free to send us a pull request. Part of the reason why I pushed in a not so great fix to one of our other problems earlier, whereas this one I did the not so great part, and now we're trying to make it, slightly better. That one I just shoved out there because I want all the pages to be functional, even if they're not ideal, and that one was a page wasn't functioning. So I wanted to get that out there so that other people can work on it. We've got a couple of people that wanted to work on this over the weekend, but we were still in our database access transition, which I finished up, and we're in a good place now. So, NSO, keep in mind that the issues on the list on the GitHub are not exhaustive. So if there's something else that you want to do that's not listed there, feel free to shout it out and suggest it over in our Discord. Let us know what you're thinking, because there are like a bunch of things related to just the front end of the website that we didn't even bother with issues with. So let us know. All right, so these are the tasks. Let's see, can we there, you know what, Google, I forget how to do this. Hang on. I have one of these open, don't I? This is going to be, I think it's await all is what it's called, right? I believe it's await all. Yeah, task wait all. Wait, what's the difference? We don't need to run it in parallel. we can just wait all, so we want to do that. Oh, when all. Tasks when all. That's not exactly the way we're... we could sort of create it that way. So we're going to try this. Which, we'll see if that just lets us do them all at once. We're not doing it like this, though. Task when all. And ours is a new array of tasks. Let's see if it lets us get away with this. This is going to be role exists, user enroll, and default user. Which it might complain about. No type found for task. User manager is not a task. What? Whoops, not user manager. Users enroll. There we go. I was gonna say, I can't believe I had to specify that. Oh, cause it's a params. Oh man, that's awesome. I don't know if you saw this. So I was just gonna remove the word tasks, but it figured out something else, and that is that the when all accepts an array. But it's a params array, so it's kind of hard to see here, but it says it's a params array. It says params task, and then square braces tasks. And so that means that I can actually just put in role exists, users enroll, and default user, and those tasks should all work. We will await that. Although, funny enough, if that's the only one, do I have to do that? Yes. Hey wink. Async. So we'll await that. But do these then need to get awaited? Not 100%. These should be done, so there shouldn't be any awaiting on them, right? Awesome, NSO. Awaiting all those so succinctly is pretty slick if it works. Yeah, I'm hoping that that makes it work. We're about to find out. I don't know that that's going to get around it, because I'm not sure why it's disposing of our identity store. I don't think it should be. So I think Mr. Magoo's probably right. I think we wired something up wrong. It ran them. So cool. Yeah, they're tasks that should already be done, Riley. So in theory, we could .result them, but I think that would scare people. Because we've already awaited them. But I think people will be afraid if I write this word. If I did the .result on here. Just because they don't know that it's already done. Does that make sense? I think people will get scared of that because they won't realize that we've already done the task. We're just looking at the result that's already there. So I don't want to scare other developers, is the idea. Like, even if we're pretty sure it's safe, let's not scare them. Okay, so here's what we're going to do to test this, I think. Is this going to work? Let me confirm. Let me just make sure I did things in the order I think I did them. Initialize database. No. Initialize database needs to happen before that. Okay, so that'll set up our database. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm going crazy. We're gonna click that button. We're gonna see what happens. Because I want to make sure this full thing works, which means I'm going to nuke this database. MechJack, welcome! Thanks for that follow, much appreciated! Having await statements and conditionals like that really gives me an eye twitch. Oh yeah. I could see the complaint. Scaring devs is fun. Glad you think so. What? He's not deleting? I'm tempted to nuke this whole database right now. All right, here's what you get. We should be able to do this. There's no reason we can't. Add database, DevStreams, because we're specifically trying to see what the scenario looks like for anyone else that pulls in this project. So I should be able to just nuke that database and rerun. There's nothing special about. There should be nothing special about that database. It should recreate every single time. You might scare future self. Yeah, exactly. Ah, see, it didn't fix. I'm glad I checked. Is it because the user manager being passed to the startup method is not scoped when you grab it in configure? Exactly, Fuel Snable. You wouldn't want to have someone get rid of that, and suddenly have the result be actually doing a wait itself. So we still have the problem. Oh, that's because we're using it again here. Oh yeah. So oh, I know the problem. Can this be async? Is that the problem? That might have been the problem the whole time. Oh my god, if that's the problem. I love how people point out that they scare themselves. Wait, what? What do you mean can't? What? What are you smoking, thing? Did our configure method maybe not run? Because I made it async? Yeah. Configure didn't run because I made it async. Okay. Test out when code can't fail if it doesn't run. Yeah, exactly. There's our new goal. Make sure the code can't run, because then it can't fail. Alright, so that should exist. We should have... well, let's try... You know, we haven't tried logging in yet. What is this? Chatter1 at example.com, and the password on that user was... Oh my god, what was the password? I don't even remember. What's the password? There we go. Invalid login attempt. What? Well, that sucks. All right, we'll see if that account exists. Maybe it didn't create it for some reason. I didn't actually look. View data. It didn't make the user. Interesting. So that didn't run. We're going to toss in a bunch of breakpoints. Let's see what happens. Breakpoints. You are my friends. You will tell me what's going on. Hang on. Hi, cat. Ah, and there goes my green screen. Thanks, cat. My cat decided to show up. I heard some strange noise, but he was well behaved when I got there, so I don't know what he was doing. Hopefully my green screen doesn't get knocked over. We'll see. Alright, so let's take a look. So here's our task when all that should run here. We come in, we check to see if the roles exist. Uh-oh. There's the problem. Okay, we found the issue. Alright, so, we are definitely not stopping to wait for this thing. Let's try that again. But, you know, more succeeding this time. Alright, so we're going to go here. We're going to go there. Think we got it. We got it! Alright, there's all we needed to do. Alright, so don't kill me on that one, anyone. We figured it out. I think it works. Hooray. I don't know that it created the user account, but we'll take a look. Did you really create it this time? Yay, there it is. Okay, it made the account. And do we have the role as well? ASP.NET roles. View data. Boom! Administrator. Okay. That is much better. That is way less bad. Which also means that I can put these back where they go, and we don't need to task when all. So let's get rid of the task when all. Let's inline this for now, and then we will extract it. Wait, what did I just do? Oh, that inlined it. Yep, and then there was the next one that needs to inline. And if you missed what happened, I will explain in a moment how we ended up fixing this and what was going wrong. I do want to extract this. Let's pull that out. That is users in role. Yeah, exactly. So the issue here was that our code was moving on without waiting for this to finish, so we either needed to make this method not be async anymore, which we don't want to do, or we could tell this method itself that we wanted to wait for it to finish. So the problem is we were coming in here and we were not finishing all this code before we moved on, which is a problem. So does anyone here use CI on their personal projects and on their home machines? Gareth, yes. This is a personal project, and I am at home. That was an easy answer there. It's okay. I have clipped the dirtiest of code working. Took a bit to stop laughing to edit the snip down. Thanks, Skull Crusher. That's perfect. We need to have a record of that one. When it will be finished? This project. Oh, I'm not. If you mean this project, I'm not sure when this is going to finish. We'll have to figure that one out. This I don't want to extract from here, despite the fact that I kind of want to extract it. And the reason I don't want to is this won't get called unless we get in here. So either way, that code is way less bad than it was a moment ago. So let's hop over here and see what changed. So we shifted that before that. That makes sense. And what did we do here? These don't need to move to the top. these can go down right below the right before the used now. So we'll put those there because that makes more sense. Default user, yeah, there we go. Which should make fewer changes. Good, 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 good. So here, OMG, get rid of this. We did get rid of it. That's good. See, it's happy about that. So that's one comment that we can be proud of right there. OMG, get rid of this. And then this one down here, we said admin users that. So this used to have .results, and now it is just calling those. So hooray! That code is way better. Get rid of the terrible code. You know what? Hang on. Adding default. All right, everyone. I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna lie. Even though there's a clip proving that I'm a liar. La da 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 da. DevChatter on stream. DevStreams. We're gonna go ahead and add that and git commit dash dash amend dash dash no dash edit. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I totally had that code right the first time. What do you mean? What are you talking about? What dot result? Oh, I don't know what kind of dev you guys are talking about that would have written dot result in there. Oh, that would have been terrible if someone had done that. Oh, simply awful. There we go. Yep. That's what you do. Alright. So that works now. That creates that. We should have that user account. Let's get the website running. We're gonna run it over there. As soon as it's up and running, I'm gonna refresh this page, and then we are going to attempt our login. Oh wow, the connection is not private. Great, cool. That's fantastic. I had no idea. Thank you. Chatter1 at example.com, and this was. I think that was the password we did. What? Startup. Where's the password? Show me the password. I think that's what I typed. Yeah, okay. Why is this login failing? I am gonna smack someone about that. That is stupid. Let's set some basic settings for this. Learn a new command for work now. Yeah, there you go, Riley. All you do is it's a git commit dash dash amend and then a dash dash no edit, and with a dash between the no and the edit. That's the fun command. Slebix, hello, hello, hello. Gentleman. No, you were. Yeah, I take it you were just talking about me. Kanashimi, LOL. Greetings, welcome, hi. Welcome to DevChatter. We are writing a bit of code and complaining about code when it doesn't work the way we want it to. So let's go in here. So we wanted some options here. So options. I think that's what we wanted, right? Isn't it in here? Yeah, there it is. And actually, because that was getting stupid, I'm gonna go over here. This didn't lay out right in VS Code. So since VS Code didn't do this correctly, we're gonna go ahead and write the code here instead because Visual Studio will be more okay with it. Options. What are these called? Identity options. All right, interwebs. First off, let's close that and that. ASP.NET Core Identity Options. No. I want the docs, not the MSDN. Wait, what? Is that really this? What? Oh, come on. Identity options? Ugh. Alright, what do we got? Yeah, exactly, Slipix. A classic coding session. You could scaffold identity and put a breakpoint on the login page. That's true, Plutonin. I could put the actual login page on there. Bobby, what identity stuff do you know about? It was a joke. It was a nice setup. Allowed for new and I totally don't know any of your coworkers. None of them. Definitely don't know anyone else that works at that company. Allowed for new users. We don't. I don't really want to lock out. Do we want to do lockouts? Allow for new users. Password options. Here's the ones we want. Because these are terrible. Whatever it is they do by default is just awful. Required length of 6. Required unique characters 1. Okay. Require an uppercase? Nope. We don't require an uppercase if you don't want one. Nope. We don't require that either. Require a lowercase? Nope. Require a digit? Nope. Okay. Gotta be, we'll say 8 characters, because we're gonna at least be that. I like my users to select secure passwords, but I also can acknowledge my website doesn't matter, so I don't want someone using a significant password here unless they want to. If someone manages to get access to our, open source community contributed website, I don't really want someone to use the same password they use for their bank, because that just seems dumb. And yes, exactly, Zunjin. Which one? Eric, welcome, thanks for following. And Tutorial Spiller, welcome, thanks for following as well. Greetings. If anyone else is in here and hasn't clicked that follow button yet, I do recommend it. Oh, that totally reminds me, I forgot to mention earlier in the stream, over the weekend, we crossed 3,000 followers here on Twitch, which is amazing. So I thought it was really kind of cool, actually. So I'm gonna click this button because it was cool. I didn't even notice. It was like we were at 3001 and I was like, oh, whoops, I missed it. Because I was totally all about that and paying attention. Require confirmed email. I'm going to set these to false. We do not require this stuff in order for you to log in. No way. So just in case this is a restriction that's blocking us, no, you do not need a confirmed email to use an account here. We are not worried about that. Authentication token provider, user, allowed username characters. Okay, weird. Cookie settings, I think we already set some of those, but we'll mess with that later. Let's grab some lockout options. What do they have? So, default lockout time spans 5 minutes, max failed attempts 5. So, a 5-minute lockout, I'm okay with it locking out after 5 attempts. Okay, so we now know what our settings are, which is big, because I didn't know what they were a minute ago. So let's hope that that's why we couldn't log in. I'm just guessing, but if it's not that, then we're actually going to have to go figure out why I can't log in. So chatter 1. There's our password. Let's try logging in. Nope, still can't log in. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Yes, you have to design against PEBCAC. Assume people will use the same password. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea, Slepix, and I also have another standpoint on that one. I get annoyed when I go to some website that really doesn't matter, and they make me generate a password, and I'm like, you know what? I have a password for that. It's my stupid password for accounts I don't care about. And yes, I do use the same password on stupid websites I don't care about, because I don't care if someone gets access to my account on them. And I'm guessing the DevStreams sites is probably one of those things that people don't really care about. Let's see. How do you... well, you could use Okta or Ping. But for super elite happy fun time. Yeah, so the funny thing, Auth0 Bobby, is we were actually talking about using that for this application specifically. So it's not actually out of the realm of possibility. We may still use Auth0 for this. Yep. What is this project about? Kanashimi, it is not a bowling league sign up. That is not true. Loud username characters equals A. Platonin, you just won. That is awesome. No, we are making a website for developer stream community site. So let's talk. We'll start it up. I'll show it so that people can see what we're talking about. Do I not have it up? Wait, what? Did I close it? I closed it. Why did I close it? I don't know. So basically, here's the idea. We're building a website. We want people to essentially be able to put information about their streams that they create on this website. So if you host a developer stream, we want you to be able to put your information on here, tell people about it, tell people what languages you use, what kinds of projects you work on, what technologies you use, and potentially tell you, say a little bit about yourself and put your schedule up here. And we might be pulling extra data in from other services and things like that, but we want this to be a place where, as a viewer, I can show up and I can say things like, okay, who's, first off, well, who's streaming right now? And so, like, we want to have a little live now thing. And this could pull from, we want to pull different sets of data, so things like users you follow, so channels you follow, channels that are popular, as well as a random assortment. So we want to always put in some stuff so that the community can get more attention to things. And then in addition to that, we want you to be able to go and look at a calendar and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be watching a stream this Saturday. Who's going to be live? Go to Saturday and see what streams are available. And that's kind of the idea. So because I nuked the data. That's why there isn't one. So I was like, why isn't there a Saturday stream? So here's the idea. If I added in a Saturday stream, so that there was one, the connection is closed. What? All right, so I borked something when we were doing something. Kanashimi, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. Much appreciated. Welcome to the DevChatter crew. And please be sure to enjoy your hype and derp emotes for when I succeed and when I, go slightly short of success. Yeah, no, glad you're enjoying the stream. And thank you for triggering a hype there, Janiscu. Good stuff, good stuff. Oh, and I should mention, for anyone else that's in here, be sure to check out our Discord as well. And I know I mentioned before that this is an open source project, so you can find all the code for it over on GitHub. Okay, so that should trigger that. What the heck happened with that? So this board, what is this? Ask when all the add schedule command to test insert. Okay. Thanks thing. There we go. Well, we'll grab that one a little bit. Okay, so this is adding what are these? Authentication options. Oh, and Bobby, I will mention, yes, who's going to be the first 300 in our bowling league? I have no idea. What I was going to say is, when we were originally talking about this project, we were actually suggesting using Auth0 for it. I wouldn't be against it. So if you wanted to, help us hook it up at some point, I would not be against using that. I would have a bunch of questions about that, though, which would be if we connect some external services like connecting in like Twitch authentication and things like that, which I assume Auth0 can do. Can we leverage that into actually making calls to Twitch to get information from them? Or does that only get us the authentication? And does the connection to Auth0 maybe even give us the token that we could use to request the data from Twitch? And that's what I would wonder about. So if you're still there, Bobby, those would be my main questions. So yes. Let's see. You support like 40 social logins, and yes, you can request scopes against the Twitch OAuth 2 flow that would get you access to their API. Oh, okay, cool. So that does answer my question, because I wasn't sure whether or not we would actually be able to get that or not, or whether we would just be able to use it for authentication. So that's cool. Good to know. Good to know. So there's our homepage. So we have this. Yeah, you gotta love our fake homepage right now. Homepage isn't wired up. Give me a break. We're gonna wire it up eventually. There was something I wanted to do. Oh, yes, that's what I wanted to do. I'm like, there was a thing I had in my brain that I was like, yeah, I need to do this. I am going to review this code. So this is my write bad code to make things work code. That's there. So we switch from this to that. Channel where that is in that. And then do that. Let's get those. Okay. I'm going to merge that one in. And then next one. I'm going to create this as a draft because it is not ready to go yet. But adding authentication, but I want people to be able to see it, I think. So we're going to draft an authentication pull request here, and then that ought to get us set up there. Oh, and if people haven't seen that, GitHub added in draft pull requests now. So if you have code that you want to do a pull request with, but you aren't ready to actually have other people review it and actually merge it yet, just set it up as a draft, and that'll, somewhat limit access to it. I think the number one reason to use an identity as a service provider on a project like this is to get you out of the storing passwords game on a hobby project. Exactly, Auth0 Bobby. Hang on. Auth0. The challenge that you run into on a hobby project like this is this one, though. The $0 a month plans, they kill you because they're like, oh, 2 social identity providers, and you're like, wait, I need at least 3, because let's see, where are they? They are where I thought, is Twitch not considered social? You don't have Twitch listed? Well, Google would be one. What is maybe it's considered Amazon? I don't know. It might be considered Amazon. I don't know. Yeah, so... But I agree, yes. That's part of the reason also why we don't want security, is because it's nice if people don't have to make custom accounts for our site. So the idea is that we mostly want to do third-party auth. So the basic user account is not one that we expect people to use. We would expect pretty much everybody to use their Twitch authentication to log in, which maybe we would restrict to only being able to log in with a Twitch auth. But I haven't set that up yet, so that would be the big thing. Okay, so we have this set up. We have adding authentication as a branch in here. For now, we are using the base authentication for that. Going forward, it is totally possible that we might create this with Auth0 or some other identity as a service provider, so that we don't have to host that ourselves. Which, for a site that didn't have a specific set of 3 platforms, getting 2 social connections for free would probably be good enough. And actually, even for us, we probably could get away with that if we just did Twitch and YouTube and said, sorry, Mixer, we don't care enough, which might be the answer. I assume Mixer uses the Microsoft auth, but I don't know that for certain. I'd have to check. But either way, it's something we'll look into. The funny thing being that I actually did already create the Auth0 account specifically to use on this website. We just haven't set it up yet. Anyway, if you are interested in contributing to this project, I'll mention to anybody that's in here, we do have a set of issues here so you can take a look. This is not an exhaustive list. There are many things that we want to do with this project that come down to suggestions. So if you want to add some cool widget, something like that, add to our data access, anything like that, go for it. Let us know what you're interested in. You can chat with us over on our Discord. There's a link over there in the chat to let us know what you'd be interested in doing. So if you enjoyed any of the stream today, I do recommend that you click the follow button to make sure you get notified when we go live. If you're watching a recording of this, either here on Twitch in the video section or over on our YouTube channel, I do recommend that you try and catch us live. You can find us, our schedule, down below the stream on our Twitch page. Why did that... scheduled. That's why, because I can't type my own commands. If you show up in our chat during a stream, you can find out our schedule. We stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Mondays and Tuesdays at 2 p.m., Thursdays at noon, and Saturdays at 1 p.m., and all those are Eastern Time. I should mention that those are, if you know how to convert from UTC to your time zone, you can use 1900, 1900, 1700 and 1800 are the times that we stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Lastly, our schedule command for anyone that is in here in the chat, you can actually put in your place. So I told it to schedule for Ohio, but if you tell it where you are, it will give you back in your time zone, or at least try to. And Zora and Atomic, welcome. Thanks for those follows, much appreciated. Supa Dupa, you've been enjoying your stream for weeks. Awesome. I'm really glad you've been enjoying the stream, Supa Dupa. Really appreciate it. And the comment. Hello, greetings. So I will mention there are a handful of possible emotes that we will likely be getting for our channel once we are able to get those in place. I'm sorry, Tactical, we don't have Jupiter yet in our time zone database. Once we get it there, we'll be able to figure out what time it is for you. So, Rambling Geek, I don't think I have an equipment list of my computer, but I do have my streaming stuff down in a list below the streams. You can find out what stuff I use for streaming. So that means my lights, my camera, I think I've got my microphone, my green screen, I've got lots of lights all around me so that I am lit and the green screen is lit, and my headset is down there in that list as well. I also have I have the a list. I have some books that I recommend down below the stream. I do need to update that list because we have it hard. So we have John Skeet's C# In-Depth 3 book, but I know his C# In-Depth 4 book is coming out. So Rambling Geek, what you're looking for stuff about my computer? I don't know what you're looking for. Rambling Geek, you're in my Discord, so you can ask me. And yes, Sunjin, C# In-Depth 4 will be releasing soon. Yes, exactly, Tactical Cadaver. That was crazy good response. We have a special technology that beams communications out to, which planet did you do? Jupiter? I think that's the one you did, right? I forget. Jupiter, yeah. The beams to Jupiter, lightning fast. Jupiter time zone be considered time difference caused by the distance Jupiter? You know, I have no idea what we're gonna do with time zones once humans are not on Earth. It's gonna just be weird. I'm sure time zones are already complicated. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to mention. I know I said that we have GitHub links. Oh, I was going to mention about emotes. So something I'm planning on doing, this is especially for anyone who is one of my subscribers. I'm going to be asking people over on our Discord which emote ideas they like. Essentially, we have 3 emotes here on the channel, and I will just click them to put them in here. So those are our 3 emotes today. We have a derp emote, a hype emote, and a fail. I am planning on getting a handful of other emotes for the channel because Twitch is giving us more emotes now. So affiliates, I'm going to be able to have a total of 6 emotes here in the channel. And I'm thinking of things like maybe a high emote or something like that for like a wave kind of thing, and then some other stuff. I'm not sure what, I've got a handful, but I'm hoping I can open up the floor for ideas from our subscribers, and you guys can let me know and let everyone else know what things you would like to see as an emote, what you might actually use, because you guys get to use the emotes. So what do you want the emote to be? And in March, I will be getting an artist to get us some new emotes, and we'll do those based on what you all suggest. And yes, star dates. Star Trek definitely did star dates. Did they define that well enough? For I don't remember. I know they and they did weird. Like it was decimal time, which was like weird. I don't know. John Skeet's already written C#6. I don't know what that means, Riley Dom. Either way, I am going to wrap up the stream here. I want to thank everybody for showing up today. I really enjoyed the stream, even though there were some frustrating, annoying things. I laughed my butt off when I did a couple of stupid things like, let's just hack this code in here and stuff like that. It's always fun when you do that. And I want to make sure that if I can, host someone that's live. No one I follow is live. Come on, people. So I follow a bunch of people here on this channel, with the idea being that everyone that I follow here on this channel, so you can actually check the DevChatter follow list. Anyone in that list is someone that we are likely to host and or raid when a stream finishes, and that usually means that that is someone who I have watched their stream, and I think, yeah, that's someone who I would definitely be willing to pass everyone off to at the end of my stream. I don't see anyone live right now, and I also just checked our live coders team, and I don't see anybody live either. So I guess that means we will wrap here. I will see everyone tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So subtract 2 hours and 20 minutes from whatever the clock says your time is right now, and that is what time we start tomorrow, which means we are less than 22 hours away from our next stream. Should be a good one. Hopefully I can work out some of these kinks and we'll just, make it run quickly. We'll see. We'll do something fun. Either way, take care, happy coding everyone, and enjoy the start to your week. I will see you on Tuesday. Oh, wait, I didn't run my credits. Run on the credits, and then I'll flip to the outro. So Crimson Green, S&B, Stool Penner, thanks for helping to moderate the channel. And I want to make sure that I thank our followers, all of these wonderful people, who I believe I thanked most of them when they clicked the follow button, were nice enough to follow the stream today. Always appreciate it. So welcome, hopefully you enjoy the streams that are coming up. Stool Penner, Auth0 Bobby, Carrie, Michael, Gareth, and Kanashimi, thank you very much for those subs and resubs. I look forward to seeing some awesome emote and hype in the chat, and take care everyone. I will see you next time.